We're talking tackle. Today's topic, lures, spoons, and more. Let's take a look at what we have to talk about. We've got this guy, which is
Clackin wrap.
It's a Rapala Clackin Wrap 06. There we go. He's got pretty blue on the top. He's got this really funky hook on the front, which you can't see against the black, but if I hold it down here you can. There you go. See how these other little hooks are tinier? Okay, so Jeff, tell us about this.
Okay, this is usually a freshwater lure, and it's usually for bass. But we can use this in saltwater as well. As it runs through the water, it'll back and forth, side to side, as it's pulled forward. A lot of times fish will sometimes attack from underneath, and that's what this little extension on the hook is for. If you look here, one side is actually longer than the others.
Yeah, it looks like it's bent.
But it's not. A lot of people who use these lures think that these are sent to them and they're defective, but they're not. These are actually made for the fish that actually attack from underneath from this particular direction. They come from underneath. That's what bass do. That's what a lot of fish do when they attack. And that's how fish actually do what they do. They ambush their prey. That's another Clackin wrap.
This is another exactly the same Rapala Clackin Wrap 06.
And it's a different color.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. On the top is a rainbow.
It's beautiful.
Red.
Yeah.
And it's a redfish, actually.
It does look like a redfish.
That's what it is.
Okay. This one also has one of those funky little hooks on the front.
These are good inshore fishing lures. Now, one thing you want to make sure is you're not anywhere near any grass areas, because these long hooks that are in the front, they will actually get caught in the grass.
Here's one with the same hook all the way around.
That's a mirrodine.
Okay.
That's a mirrodine suspending. When it goes down, it'll suspend at a certain depth, usually about 2-3 foot.
Looks really neat.
Yeah, and in order to fish that, you just need to do short jerks.
Okay.
And let it settle a little bit. 1, 2, and then let it settle, and then 1, 2, and then let it settle again. Usually you'll get a hit.
Here's one that looks different.
Yeah, this is like a bomber lure, and this is actually really good in deep water. You can use it in fresh and salt. Saltwater lure, because there's a lot of saltwater fish that will attack that silver color. Usually fish with large teeth will go after those silvery lures.
Here's one that says it's a Rapala Clackin Crank 53.
Yep, and that's a shallow water diver. It'll go to about 5 foot, 3 to 5 foot, somewhere around there. When you have a short lip like this is, its actual design is for shallow water. You can make this actually go in shallower water if you want, by taking this little lip ring off. You take this little lip ring off and you tie your line directly to it. It'll pull it up even a little higher up in the water. But this goes from 2 to 3 foot of water. It's a shallow diver. It's kind of like a bomber lure, but it's not. That's a Rapala.
And next we have an orange one. What's this one?
This is a kind of like a lobster, but it's actually a shrimp or crawdad, and it's used in the inshore waters a lot because it's got the red bottom, green top, and the pink center. Now the spoon on the end of this makes it a deep diver, which means it'll go 5 to 6 feet deep. So that's good around 6-7 feet of water. Very good for bass fishing. Very good for inshore slams and stuff like that. If you want to maybe get a redfish or two, that they'll go after these just as well, because they're basically designed like a crawdad, and crawdads are usually eaten by the redfish as well. Most people don't realize that that's a good bait for them. Okay, this is a spoon. It's actually for dark water, but it's got a pearl inlay over the top, and it's a brass spoon is what it is. This is a deep diver or distance casting lure, and it's the weight of the lure itself that gets the performance, but the shininess is what you really want around fish. So if you take a little bit of steel wool and you polish up the bottom of this, it becomes just as clear as shiny as the top. But the shininess is what usually attracts them.
Is that a special kind of treble hook on there?
Yes, it is. It's actually a weighted treble hook, so it keeps the weight of the treble down and the nose of the spoon up.
Spoon up. That's pretty neat.
Okay, this is a shallow jerkbait, and it's actually like almost like a topwater jerkbait, but it's a slow rising.
It's a Rapala
Shadow Wrap shad, which is a 09, and this is a slow rising lure. When you drop it in the water, you pull it downward and it goes down. When it does, it'll actually start slowly rising up at this position at an angle, kind of like this. As you see it move upward, it'll kind of like rise like that. That's what fish will do. They'll attack on it when the fish is going towards the top of the water. When they figure they're down low and then they start to rise upward, that means they're having trouble with ballast inside their...
So they're sick, and that's what the other fish are looking for.
Well, it's a weakness for the fish if it's losing its ballast, because it makes it easier to catch them.
Mm-hmm.
So the other fish will watch for that. A lot of people don't realize what they're actually doing with these baits, and they don't really look at them.
And this one you said was a freshwater lure?
Yes, that's a topwater torpedo.
This is a Hedden baby torpedo, it says.
That's actually really good for bass. You could use it in saltwater too.
So what makes
usually
this...
around the inshore areas, because it's just like the super spook basically. The only thing is this one's got a prop. The prop makes noise, so it sounds like a fish in distress with its fins.
Okay.
So once it spins, it makes like a shh through the water, and it sounds like a fish having trouble with its tail as it's trying to swim.
Okay.
And it sends a vibration through the water, which the other fish pick up.
Well, that wraps it up for this time. Make sure to watch for the next episode of We're Talking Tackle.